Welcome back everyone to the gorgeous Alchemy factory, and we've just come up to the end of day report for day 53. So I brought it back a little early just to get this report in because I've showed them all on this series up until now. So we're doing a decent amount of earnings. We had 40,000 in the turquoise. I didn't think that was going to be as much. So now that's our biggest seller, and then the vitality potions are second, and then the healing potions are third. So 109,000 on the earnings, that's really good. But we did spend out 115. We didn't do any quests. So we are making a bit of a loss at the moment. I do have an inventory full of stuff because I've been taking down some of the old stuff. So just give me a second to get all this away, and then we'll have a look at the quest for the day. Okay, I've just tidied up all my inventory. It's looking a lot better now. We have a lot of wood. I took down a lot of the old processes. So if we have a quick look over this side, you will see most of this has gone now. This plant that's making fertilizer has got to go down as well. But I think what I'll do just for now, because this is only producing to this fertilizer, and this fertilizer is producing to nothing at the moment. So if we just take these two away, it does put a load of logs on us. Because we're just waiting for this to just finish, just going to take the blockers off. This will all be took down later on in the day, and then we get a big massive space. What have we got down here? So we've got another fertilizer plant here, which is going to nothing, so that's going to have to be took down. And then we've still got all the pulleys we've got, which is now finished, so you can get took down as well. So let's have a quick look at the things we set up in the last episode. Now that would... actually, we'll just have to grab some logs for it. Otherwise, it stops the relic. And the reason I've not got these automated anymore is because we've got to be doing gloom fungus. And for us to do gloom fungus, it means I'm going to have at least 2 belts of wood, probably more. And then we'll replace them with the belts of wood. So what we set up in the last couple episodes, we've got a full box of healing potions there. We need to link that. That one's been linked up to the shop already. So these was then going into the turquoise over here. This is our turquoise build. Now that is... Why are you not getting healing potions? I broke a belt here. And then we can take that box away and fix the belt. And because the machine's got nothing, I can get rid of them potions. Okay, so the turquoise is back live now. So that's where the healing potions are going. Then we've also got a split. When the bottom belt's full, it's going to be then producing it for bandages. As you see, we've already got 400 bandages, nearly 500 in the box. The box we set up down here with the rope is totally full. So we'll be using some of them to do a new pulley setup soon. And the cloth is much better than it once was. As soon as the potions, now them starting to come into the bandages, this will start moving and that will start clearing that box out. We want to get the bandages in this episode into the shop. Then we want to get the rope into the shop automated. And then we want to get the cloth in. And then any bandages that's not going to the shop, that's just sitting in this box, will then be sent to the dispatch portal. So I took the old one down. We might have that turquoise for the quest now, because I needed 20. Let's see how many's in the tub upstairs. Nothing at the moment, so we need to wait a little longer, because I broke that belt. Let's have a look at the daily quest for the day. Need soap. And need soap. So, yeah, 2 of the quests I need soap on. Be about 15 to 18,000 on both those ones. We can set up soap now. We've got the advanced fertilizer. That's the whole reason I didn't. So we could just have a quick look at the soap. Wasn't what I was planning on doing this episode, but it is stopping me from earning money through quests at the moment. So if we look at the goods we can sell in the shop, We actually haven't unlocked them, I don't think. No, we haven't unlocked it, so it's been naughty sending them into the shop, so we might as well just unlock the recipe. I do want to get the bone shroom. Let's continue that research as well. And today, we want to at least get down to gloom spores. If I can get to transformation, that's going to be a bonus. Now, transformation's not that hard. If we can set up a gloom fungus setup, all we've got to do is add coke powder to it. And we do know there's a lot of coke powder just sitting on the belt here doing nothing. So depending on the numbers we need, we might be able to get that done as well. So let's have a look. So soap. Soap is in a blender. Linseed oil and plant ash. And then you can grind it down into soap powder as well. Soap powder, at the moment, we don't know it's used in anything. But I'm pretty certain it's used in the yeast powder. So I can't really do that quest until this line backs up. And this one is currently waiting for the sand. Okay, it's running at full capacity now. I could put a second machine on, but then I would need a new sand build. But no, I'm happy with that. That's good as it is. Let's get the bandages into the shop. So I need to see which ones of these we're using, and then we need to connect them more. So you're being used for this one down here. This is this one. And this is the turquoise. So this one here, I've got 3. The second from the end. So that's where I need to try and get to. And then I've got another one after that. So do I want to set... Yeah, the bandages setting up next is probably the most priority one. And I do want to leave a 1 space distance. We will need... So we're looking at this one first. How far could you get? You're going into this one here. Yeah, we can see the healing potions. So if this is about 3 or 4 tiles forward, we could probably put it somewhere around here. I would like to eventually get 2 of these going into the shop, but quite at the moment, it's just too much of an hassle when I'm using these cannons to do it, to take up more space. So if I put you facing this way, and then put a cannon on there, I've got a feeling that we can reach that one up there. So let's grab the bandages. Into the new one I've just put. Yeah, that's perfect. And then set the target to you. Just second from end. Okay. Now we will have to move the bandages on whatever shelf it was on before. So this is the one we need to set. Okay, so why are you two not set as a target? Just trying to... Oh, this is the relic. Because I can see it going on the relic stand. So what's coming in these 2 here are actually, those are the 2. So that's the one I've just set up. So this is going to be bandages. I don't think I can get in this shelf we was using before. No, it won't reach into those. Okay, so let's get some more cabinets up. This is basically getting defunct now. So we can have a shelf over the back here. And I think what I might also do is close the shop while I'm doing this. But we've got about 4 hours. If we can get it set up quickly enough, that's fine. Get rid of all these. So we'll keep the first 3 as the same. So that's going to be little, big gears, small gears, and what are you? Your mortars. So we want to clear some of these shelves off. Easiest way to clear the shelf is change the goods to absolutely anything. And then when we set it up, it will automatically assign the next one. Same with this one. Change it. There's nothing in the system over there, and nails is the one I've got to get rid of as well. Let's go upstairs and let's connect up and start selling bandages in the shop again, which would be this one. It's just because these two are not connected, that's what's confusing me. So where can you get to? So you can get all the way over the back there. I just want to see... Probably that one then. So we should see bandages coming in. Did I not put a belt in? No, I forgot to put the belt in. So we just want the belt that side. Then that should kick start all that. Now I want to set one up for rope on the bottom here. And again, I want to leave a one space gap. We don't want a box on this one, we just want a catapult. Then we do the furthest belt. And then we've got to go over. So this is about the same. Maybe can get it somewhere about here. Might need to go one more back. Yeah, just won't go in there. The same as before, we'll just build a couple. It'll go in the back one there, but it won't go in the other two. Fine. And then the last one I've got up there, this can go to. So I've set on the cannon. Cannon goes to the very end one. It's not the neatest at the moment with the cannons, but at least them all in the same area. So now we've got bandages, and if we walk around here, we should see the bandage shelf full, which we can. Rope is now here as well, so we can set that up. Let's try and get to the furthest if we can, which we can. Perfect. This box is starting to fill up, and I have got a lot of rope on me. I want to clear some of this out of my inventory. It's taking down the machines. You always get a lot of resources back. And the bandages, do we have anything? No, that's fine. How is Turquoise doing? Okay, we've got the 20 we needed. So we just need some wooden pulleys. How is the shelf? Okay, the shelf's empty. So wooden pulleys. Oh, actually, no, we've got some wooden pulleys in there. And yeah, we'll keep the shop open because we can get in for this pretty quick. And that is the random quest we can do. 18,000, still 18,000. And the money I've got on me, let's just chuck it back in the line. I'll keep the 44 on me. Still some silver in there. So the belts, if you look at them, looking very, very healthy these days. And how is this side doing? Okay, so this one, yeah. So looking at this, that tells me, because the belts are nearly full, I probably need to move up to 2 coins on the belt now. Because most of the belt is full. So let's go and do that. So change this to 2. Can be a bit a little finicky. And then if we have a look on there, we'll see 2 coins coming out. And then we'll do the same with this. So he's going to take every single coin and make them into stacks of 2 now. Brilliant. And if we ever need any money, we can always collect it off the line. So we need to build a couple of more containers up here if we want to start throwing things. Can I get you into that space there? It was being a bit difficult before. Okay, it's working perfect today. And we'll just set one up at a time so I'd stop confusing myself. So this one's free at the end. What other product haven't we got automated in the shop? That would be cloth. I think we've got... Yeah, we've got a shelf over here, so let's clear that shelf. Okay, end of day already. And looking pretty nice again. 34,500 in the turquoise. And we can just make them constantly going on at the moment. So 45. So we had 15 off a quest, so that would have given us 30,000 there. So 136,000 we made in the shop, and we only spent 58. That's what I want to see. So let's change this product and let's clear this one out, and then we can set this up with something else. Pulleys are okay stopping as they are, and turquoise will be backed up, and we'll have a little containers all upstairs. So if we ever need any products, we can come up here. We can see what's on the belt because I've got visible belts. And then we'll have a little container holding up 2 of the products or 200 of the product, whatever it stacks to. That's good to see. This is the one we're doing now. Where can I get with this one? Probably I want to go into there. We're not using that at the moment. And if I need to, I can always move the relic stand to here and put another double unit into that side. Yeah, we've got rope. It's cloth we want to do now. So let's go back down and do the cloth. So currently we've got the rope here and the cloth at the top there. We do have the cloth coming down this side here. We do have to be careful with what we're doing with getting the cloth out. How do I want to do this? Maybe using one of these stands. What we used in the nursery, these metal stands. Okay, it won't quite go into there. Do we need cloth for anything else? No, I think it just needs to go into potions. So yeah, I'm okay bringing it down here. We just need to get the cannon. Maybe move it one more forward. So let's just put a conveyor lift going. We'll have it coming out this side just because I want... Actually, we could get the rope out this side, so that's fine. And no, we do have to bring it out this way. We want it to drop on the bottom and come out the chest. This belt here is going to be a little tricky to get out. Maybe put a couple of... Yeah, we'll put a couple of more lab stands. And then we can just drop it down right onto the machine. Once I've got the shop done, then everything else we'll start putting the priority splitters on them. So we need to set you up with a cannon. You're roughly about the same as this one here, so it has to be close to this. Maybe just next to it we might be able to get away with it. And then you can go to the last one I set up at the top. And now we should have cloth going into the store. Let's just look at the belts. Yep, cloth's coming through now. Going to go into there to fill that up. So we've got 3 more containers. If we're going to use them, we might have to use the cannons here. Because these can get target on... Well, it can get target on the furthest one. You can get target... No, again, you have to just be careful. We might have to change this unit out. But that's perfect. We can get another one of those stand things in. Can I just jump on the shelf from here? Oh, I can. Perfect. So leave a space, move one over. Now, let's have a look at what we've got in there. So we've got the bandages. We've got the rope. We've got the linen. We've got the healing potions. We've got the relic. We've got the turquoise. So everything over here is being supplied into the shop now. Now, I don't really want containers like this here as a permanent solution. They are starting to go down. If you just give the box a shuffle, you'll see the top one's going down. So it is supplying it, and we've got a bit left over, which will be going into bandages on this side. Just make sure all this is working. Yep, healing potions are coming in. They're just a little slow. It's backed up on that side. How is the box looking here? it's back up to full. So we want to get a contract. I would want to do this. Maybe I need to get back to the line. Now we have got advanced fertilizer going down here. Oh, that's just coming down into the boxes. So how many boxes have we still got? We still got over 2 boxes. 2.5 boxes. Is this actually going down yet? It is going down, so we're probably up to the production limit on what we can do, but we can always just add some efficiencies. So what I want to do is do a contract thing, so I might have to move you. So you're going... Just need to get the cannons right. I don't know a way that you can hold this in position to see where it's going. So it looks like it's going into this one here. I'm trying to see where it's going to. Okay, so you're going 4 from the right. As long as I get the things into this one. This box here, so I can move this forward. Now, like I said, I didn't really want this box here. Don't really have the space to put things on me. Got loads of cloth and stuff on me. Chuck that into the box. How is the rope? Is it going down yet? No. Not even going down, even though we send it to the shop. Just make sure that shelf got filled up. Yeah, the shelf got filled up and the box got filled up. Let's go and have a quick look at the quest. Bulk order, vitality potions, 2 Jupiters, 208,000. And that's fairly easy to do as long as we've got the still gears. Those are still a little on the slow side at the moment. Talking of still gears, are we actually... No, I think those are one of the ones I was manually chucking into the shop. So I need to set that up from this box down here. But we can just bring it in, maybe this side, onto the top floor. Could we manage that? Yeah, we could just do belt straight away across. That isn't that hard to do from that side there. Still gears. And we can automate the nails as well. Because I've took the nails off on that side. Okay, we'll come back to that one in a second. Let's get this quest done. So we have got 3 Jupiters. We need 2 for the quest. And I think I'm just going to chuck 1 into experience. Just let it slowly give me some experience. And it clears some of the stuff out of my inventory as well. Which was starting to stack up. Okay, so we're going to break this one here. Do I want to break the pot? Don't want these sitting in a box, so I am going to do that. We need the 2 outputs to come onto 1. That's fine. And then we want you to come out like that. And then what we want is a priority splitter. So yellow's on the bottom, which is perfect. So I'm going to plug you in there. So I want the bandages to prioritise going into the shop. So grab another cannon. It will be a bit hard to get the belt out unless I leave a 1 space. So I'm going to leave a single space. And then we reset you up in the same, which should be that one there. So bandages are always going to prioritise into the shop. If the shop is full, then we're going to be bringing them down here and doing a dispatch portal. I'm just trying to figure out where to get the coins back on the belt. I think this is my easiest route. So in that case, we'll come down this side. I want it to come out at the bottom, which it is, and I want it to take on the belt at the top, and then I want to plug it in. Just being a little tricky with the belt, that was. And then we want this to go into a dispatch portal. Now, we have set one of these up before. but it's going to be a lot more efficient now, and it will be using most of the bandages that's just sitting around doing nothing. Let's put you in there. Let's select bandages, because that's the only contract we've got at the moment. We do have a quest for getting the gloom spores in a contract as well, which we are slowly working to. So bandages are coming out into a dispatch portal, and we want the dispatch portal to go onto a line. So again, we're going to have to do what we did last time. We are going to have to put a bank portal on, which is there. We'll connect it straight to it because we knew it worked the last time, so it's going to work again. And I want this to be set to 2 silver. The same as what I've set up over there. And any money coming out of here, so every contract will be 12. It will then be broke down into 6 stacks of 2. So that's fine. And then we're just going to bring you up here. And then we're going to lift it up onto a belt here. And we're going to bring this all the way down to this line here. And then we're going to drop the money here. So let's set that part up first. So dropping on the bottom line, taking from this top. And then we just got to set up the same here. Taking from this line, bring it up. So let's rotate that. And then all we got to do is connect them 2 belts. So any money we're earning off contracts will go into the system and onto the line. Still 2 stacks of silvers. And the line is looking fairly full still. It's probably not going to be long before we go up to 3. But we are going to be putting some expensive builds in pretty soon as well. Okay, so we've set up the contract here. And as you see, it's filling its... no, need to look in here. So we've already done a 50 contract already. Now, I've got a big massive box on me I don't want. So let's get a box. And then we can just plug it into this line. Here. To go into the contracts. Now we do need to... Actually, we're storing them up in the top of the shop. I was going to say we need to store them somewhere, but that's fine. Unfortunately, you're not going to work. I'm going to need something a bit bigger than you. Yeah, we're going to have to go with a medium box. Okay, it's not taking it from that machine because the output of the machine's here. But all the bandages I've got on me, that will clear up some inventory space. And then it's just going to flood this belt. Brilliant. So shops are all going to be stocked up first before it's used anywhere else. And what did we need for relic? We just needed wood. So I think the next one is... I do need to get that gloom spores sort of worked on. So I'm going to take this up to the corner. We've got plenty of money, so I can afford to do it now. And let's get you in. We'll bring the fuel down to the corner. Get that belt in. And where do we want to take the fertilizer? Probably, yeah, we'll take it to the end as well. At this point, I do want the buses to be working fully. And then any machines I want, I can just connect up to these 3 points. Just allow a little of the fertilizer to get cleared out the system. I'm just checking my lines. Yeah, because that was the fertilizer I had coming into these here. I bypassed the machines. It was easier. Okay, so that's all good at the moment. So the next thing I would want to really set up is, like I said, the gloom spores. Now, we do have a setup over here for 10. I could make use of 10. I could send the wood into doing a pulley setup. And then the rest of it I could just send into charcoal. Just to fuel some machines. You're empty now. It's just what I was feeding flax onto the line. And I think I put a couple over here as well. To do the same with the sage powder I had around. Are you done? Yep, we can clear this off. Just had so much sage powder taking down the old builds. So do we have that blueprint? Okay, so let's have a look. It was rotten logs into mushrooms. So I need some more portals, some more steel, and some more nails. Okay, I've collected everything I need, but we did say I need to get these connected up. So I think the easiest way is just having some things across the top there. So all we would need is something as simple as a bunch of hoppers right the way across the edge here. Maybe move it in one just in case I want to put some railings or something on. I'm not going to need anywhere near that. Actually, that's just going to confuse me. We need to get steel gears up. We need to get nails up. So I only need 2. And we can plug the cannon here. And the nails is here, so we could plug that on the top. So easiest way to do this would be put a block there. And then we don't actually need these boxes here because there'll be a box going into the shop. I want all my boxes in the same area up there. So how are we going to do this? We're going to bring the cannon out 1. Just so I can thread the belt round. Do I even need to do that? Because this isn't going anywhere unless it's going into the shop. Okay, not a bad day again. 30,000 in the turquoise. The relics are not being made, I think, because I had no wood in there. But I have just topped that back up. And we made over 400,000 on this day. So yeah, we've had a very good day. So yeah, we can get rid of that box. Get rid of this. And all we need to do is just take it straight from the machine there. Would that work? No, actually, I'm going to move it 1 forward and I'll show you why in a second. We'll put you there. We'll bring the belt out from there straight into the cannon. Can this reach on the top? Oh, it can. I do apologise, my voice is breaking up again. And we can just do that. And then we can put the other cannon right here. Now, I don't want a permanent box being here. So we'll get you to go into the machine, which is blue so I know it's connected. And we take you from the top. And then I want to connect them 2 belts. Can we get to the second one with this? Oh, we can. So we've got steel gears and nails going back into the shop now. Fantastic. And all we've got to do is connect this up to probably a cannon over here. Now, we're struggling to get into these shelves here. What's on the side here? So we've got bandages over here, so bandages doesn't need to be here. Just tidy things up a little bit. So maybe use these 2 if we can get in there. So can you get to the furthest one? You can. Put one next to it. Fantastic. We can get these back into the shop. So how am I going to do? Let's go up on the inside. I think that will be good enough. I'm not a big fan of having these like this. And we do want a box right here. Like I say, I always want my storage solutions up here, so I've got a box with a couple in if I ever need it. Let's put you there, put you there. And any extra nails I've got on me, let's just chuck in the box. And I'll put half my steel gears in there as well, just so we can get the shop filled up. Yeah, we can see them going onto the shelf already. I've got 2 more spaces there I can use on 2 cannons here. And that shelf is now full. So we've still got to automate pulleys. We need to set up a new build for that. And everything else has already been sorted, so that's fine. There is a box over here that's not doing anything, so let's just get rid of this. And you two are not... You're currently pulleys, so we'll keep you just for the moment. We'll keep them 2 up because they are currently... Actually, you're not active anymore. Oh, it's glass, that is. The glass we haven't set up yet either. Glass is a little troubling because it's all the way in the corner here. We will have a better way of doing sand soon, so I'm going to keep that as it is. But we're going to have sand as a byproduct as soon as we get into tier 6. Let's just look at how the boxes are doing at the moment. So this box I put in here with bandages. How many contracts we've done? 350 already on this day. But that's because we've just been supplementing the line. And the money is all going onto the line, back onto the belt. So we've made a lot of money. This can store a bit of money. Maybe I should have... No, because as soon as we've got rid of this input, we're not going to have a massive quantities of bandages stored up anywhere. I am going to come and take this build down over here. Because this is doing absolutely nothing except for just burning stuff. We'll just cut off the new feeds to it. That's going to be the better way to deal with it. How are we doing with relics? Yeah, relics have all stopped because the wood stopped again. I've not been on top of that. The wood's to provide the gears. That will all kickstart again into gear. Yeah, I'm happy with these setups here. We do need a wood line. Okay, so let's get that blueprint down for the rotten logs. Just need to pick up some more steel. I've used them for cannons. So where is my steel? It's down the back here in this black box. Just keep 1 stack on me, that's enough. Have a look how we're doing in the iron box. Still got a good amount in there. We will have to connect up this with a catapult as soon as this is ready. Or as soon as it's down low enough that I don't need it anymore. Got lots and lots of nails on me still, so let's get rid of some of these. Ah, that's for the build, isn't it? So we want to drop this down. We know this does 4 lines of wood and... then it also does the mushrooms. I want to plug it onto the line. Ah, this needs to be changed slightly, I think. Yeah, money's coming in on the back. Where is the... Oh, actually, it's just money on this one. That's fine. Let's leave a little bit of a space. And then I've just got to plug in the lines. Let's block up the stuff because these are quite expensive. I mean, 2,000 is not really that much for us now. Okay, and this is the last machine just to block up. You've seen me do it loads of times. I don't need to keep showing it. So everything's blocked up so we can connect the two belts. Just got to remember where they are. One goes into this machine here. Might be best just to cut the belt here just so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we can see that one's connected up. We can see the machine's blue, and we need this to be connected up onto here. So the belts are all connected, so I can just repair. And get those belts back in for power and for fertilizer. So the mushrooms are starting to back up now. Don't need any of this. I need to take this out the blueprint. Okay, that's tidied up anything that didn't need to be here. So I have got 4 lines of wood here. And we need wood for this build here. And this only needs 1 line because these are each 30. This is going to be 60. So we'll put it down here into there. So we'll just bring one of the lines over at the moment because that's all I need. We've connected all these up. So I don't need to worry about anything there. We'll just bring you up to there for the moment. But yeah, we can see everything's coming down each of the lines. We can see the back of each of the lines. Okay, I need to put a single belt here. Yeah, we can see the lines coming out. So I've got 3 lines of wood I need to do something with. I could also cut this down to only having 1 stack of machines instead of the 2 stacks I'm doing at the moment. But then I'd have to rebelt everything. We can find a use for the mushrooms. So the next thing we want to go into... Let's have a quick look. The gloom spores is going to need the yeast powder. I did forget that. Let's figure out what we need. And as soon as that's done, I will unlock the gloom spores as well. I think just for now... I think I'm just going to send this onto the floor at this point here. And then we'll put a belt and I'll put a couple of boxes. It doesn't hurt to have a couple of boxes of mushrooms as a backup. Because as soon as I get the gloom spores going into a contract, we'll use all this up. So we'll do what we did with the fertilizer. Put 4 boxes. That's going to keep that going. And as long as the wood's being used, which currently it's not, it's only used into here. Is there anything else I need wood for? There actually was. The pulleys. Because we've already got the rope and stuff sorted, and I think that was just rope and... Let's look in the shop. It was planks and rope in an assembler. Let's get that one done. I just want to look at ratios. 22.5 a minute's about 1/4 of a belt. That's going to be more than enough to provide for the shop. And I don't need them being provided for anything else except for the shop. So 1 belt would be 90. So I actually only need half a belt. This definitely needs a full belt. Because each one of these are doing 15. So that's 15, 30. Since I've upgraded, I think everything's just gone to pot. Because this is doing 45 now. Why is that not matched up? Is that the issue I was having with the gears? No, because the gears are all coming out. So this was doing, yeah, 45 into 3s. Yeah, that's right. 3 times 15 is 45. So yeah, 1 belt goes into both these. How far are you on your logs? You're nearly there. We'll let them logs complete. And then I'm just going to cut this belt. And then thread this into here. And then it'll be continuous. So the second line, I could use that then. And we could just jump the line. Taking it from the bottom line, coming out to the side. And then I want the opposite here. Coming out forward. And then taking from the line. And then we'll just put a little bridge in there. And then all we've got to do is thread that rope I had. Where did I have the second rope line? It's here. So I've just got to thread this. It's one of these where the game is being a little tricky because I'm coming at it from a different angle. This should bring my rope through. Go one more. All I've got to do is just plug you onto there. Now I've got automated rope. Sorry, automated pulleys again. I'm not connecting this to the shop until I can clear all my backlog up. Which I've got over in my chest. But we have rope set up. We're using some of the wood. That means some of the mushrooms will be getting used. I've still got 2.5 lines of wood to use up. If I can't think of anything, as I said, I'll use it as charcoal powder. Could just dump it into a bin. But no, I don't like to jump things. What was the next thing we wanted to get into? It was... Well, we did have the soap. Plant ash is sage, and that is flax. Let's have a look what the yeast powder was first before I decide what to do. So yeast powder, it needs soap powder, so we do have to do soap first. So that's just answered my question. What to do next? Because I can't do gloom spores until I can do the soap, until I can do the yeast. Now, fruit wine is just going to be off a red currant. We know a machine can do, is it 60? We still got the old machine down there. We haven't upgraded. I think it's a full belt of 90 it should be able to do. Okay, let's just come into the open down here and let's try that. Okay, blender. Give me the secrets to making soap. So I need plant ash at 90 a minute. So that's a full belt of plant ash. We do have a plant ash set up. Now that's quicklime. This would be plant ash here. So 30 a minute. So 1 belt, 3 crucibles. Gets me the plant ash. Okay, so let's build that crucible. We do have fuel on the line we can easily take, so we've already got a setup. So we want you to be coming off the line, sort of like that will be fine. And all it would need was 1 sage. Yeah, 1 sage. That provides the 90 I need. And now I need to look at linseed oil, but I won't know until I can get the flax. So I think a triple stack is in order. Nursery with the lab stands. That's the one I'm after. Let's build it. So output's coming this side. Fuel's coming in on the left. We'll build it out in the open and then we can just move it into place later. It's the easiest way of doing this. So we could have you set up as sage. So we would need the 3rd line coming down into this. So easiest way to do that is let's put a conveyor lift up to the 3rd tier. And then when I plug it in, that's just going to take it off the right line. So sage comes into here. We could even get the fuel on the 2nd tier. We'd have to come over the top of it. Okay, not a bad day. We didn't sell any turquoise. Oh, it's down here. I was going to say that was a bit strange. We did sell a relic, so the relics are going again. We might need to go and chuck some vitality potions in the shop. But again, another super day. 192 silver coins from the bandage contract with all the bandages I stocked up. And that's why I want to stock up the mushrooms, because it's going to be like that when I get the other contract going. But yeah, 347,000. We spent 189. It was quite an heavy day. And most of that is because we had to buy all these logs, which should all be full now. Let's have a look. Have you used it? Yes, you have. So I just want to permanently connect this up. Delete them from belts there. And I want you to just go like that. Actually, let's make it easier. Why go to the furthest and then come back on ourselves? That makes no sense. We'll get you coming off here into the first three. And we get you coming off here into the next three. That's more balanced, and now this should be automated all the time. We do have a relic in the tub. Let's go and see what the quests are for the day. Just having a look in the shop. Yeah, everything's topped up. Still got a good amount of pulleys. So I don't need to connect it. And it's a terrible quest. Only 6,000 for some small wood gears. The bulk order up here, I did miss it on the previous day. We can get that one done, 131,000. That's more like it. But we have only got one Jupiter at the moment. How close are we to getting the second one? Now, I have programmed it so all the Jupiters go in the box before they go in the store. No, I haven't. This was something I did mean to do when we unlock the priority splitters. So let's do that now. So, priority splitter. We want the priority to be going into a box. So, that's not going to work there. And I don't really want to move that. So, easiest way, let's get rid of this. We'll put the priority splitter across the back. Then we can put the box back in. It's going to have to be standing up, otherwise it's going to connect to the fertilizer line. Like that. The belt going in, and then the top one coming out will go to the shop, but only when this is filled up with 2. And the reason I do that is because, like I say, quests do need it quite often. And we'll bring you down at this point here. Okay, that's not going to work there because the box wants to connect to the top. So instead, we're just going to have to put a belt out like that and put the box here. That's better. And because it's going to have a finished product, let's colour it so I know which ones are which. Yeah, it's always going to fill this box before it goes to the store. And let's connect that belt back up. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And we're already up to 73%. And as you see, the gears are running perfectly balanced now. Just give it a little top. Still some sort of inefficiency with the gears, because it keeps taking little micro stops. So yeah, there's gaps on the belt here. We shouldn't have that issue because we did sort of fix it. I think it's probably because this is splitting into 2. That was splitting into 2 types. It works, that's all that matters at the moment. But the belt's coming out, so these should have quite a bit of mushrooms. Yep, we're getting some stocked up. That'll be nice. Okay, so let's go back to this. So if we want to get fuel into here, I might need to thread up, so I don't want the fuel on this side. We'll have to do the fuel on the other side. That's where the outputs is. We could just bring the fuel from here. Conveyor lift going there, taking it from the line behind it. And then we'll have this belt coming up to there. Just for now, a little lab stand in here. We'll have one belt going into the machine. And then we'll bring it up at this point. And then that still gives me room in case I need to get up to the next ones. I don't know if I need all 3 of these. Probably only need 2 if I had to hazard a guess. But we'll look at the numbers when we've got everything set up. So yeah, fuel comes in at that point. That fills the furnace. If we need any more furnaces, we can feed more. That's just going to get connected to the back bus. The fertilizer is again connected to the back bus from here. And then this is going to be my outputs out. Well, we do on this have 1, 2, 3 ways down. Now, these are doing 60 now, so this isn't going to work for this. Because we're going to be having 3 belts, or whatever belts. If we have to bring them down, we'll have to bring them down this side and this side. But at the moment, we'll plan for the 1. So the sage comes up into crucibles. We could have the crucibles going like that. And then I can bring up the belt here. Again, don't need to overcomplicate things. And if we have a quick look again, each one of the crucibles is doing 30 a minute. How much fuel is it using? Oh, it doesn't show you in this menu. You have to work it out yourself. So that gets me all the plant ash I need, 90 a minute. So then the only other thing we need is linseed oil in an extractor. So we do have some flax I kept over here. Let's go and see if we've got that Jupiter yet so I can do the quest. Yep, let me go and get the stuff for the quest. Okay, I've got the items for the quest. Do the urgent one first, so that's 6,000. And then the bulk order is going to get me 131,000. And we're getting close to be able to do the gloom spore, so we'll tag that up now just to remind me. Okay, so we've got some flax in a box over here. This is going to be the easiest way for me to work out the linseed. Get a stack of 200, that's going to be more than enough. So we need 600 to balance out with the plant ash to make 30 soap. That's more than enough. That's a third of a belt. Don't need you anymore because I've got the plant ash thing there. So if we just put a box on the floor, put a belt going out, and then we can just put a blender. We'll just put the one out, that's all I need to do. And let's just put a bunch of flax in there. Let's see what the numbers are. So you doing 2,250. I'm just looking at the full belt. So a full belt for me is 90. So I can get 4,500. 2 belts would be 8,000, which would be more linseed than this can cope with. Let's do 2. Let's not skimp. So I can just take this up now. We've got our numbers. So you're going to be flax. So 1 stack is perfect. And the top one's going to be flax. And we do need 2 independent belts. So how are we going to do this? I've moved my bar again. Okay, 5. Let's go into there. Cover the belt. I That doesn't look too bad. That's one belt out already. Now, if we want to keep it nice and narrow how I like it, we can just put the other one right on top of it. I'll bring you to the shortest version. And then we can bring you straight down onto a tower lift here. Coming out on the left. And then spin it round until it's blue. Perfect. But now we've got two we've got to deal with. We will have to get the fertilizer up. So let's go and deal with that next. So we want it to take from the bottom, come up to this level. We've done this before. And then we'll snake it all the way up. So you go there. We would need a block here. And then we need another one of these going all the way to the top. Like that. And then we just need to put a center. Put a belt in there. Another lab stand. And then we could just put some metal up. Since I'm using metal stands, it looks as if it belongs here, okay? I'm going to need to get higher because the game doesn't like you to build above you. And then put a single line going into this, like that. So fertilizer's coming in here on the third tier, going down into the bottom, up, into here, up. So it's not got much belting in there, so it doesn't take long for that to do. We've got the power coming in here. I could bring one of the linseed lines down here, which I think I am going to do. So we'll turn to stone this time. And I only need to furnace one furnace for this build, so that's fine. We will bring you... Could bring you straight down here. Yeah, we'll do you like that. So I'm going to need another bunch of lab stands across the crucible so that it doesn't mix. And we might as well just go to the edge and bring it down in one, instead of doing more than one belt. So we'll bring you up, come to the edge. I want you on the floor. And we'll have one belt coming out here. You'll want it to go like that. Possibly. I'm hoping 3's enough. I can't remember the maths I did on it now. And we'll bring you to the floor on this side. Rotate you around. It's joining the belt. And then we'll do the same thing here. Hopefully, like I said, it is 3. But this time we'll do it like that. That's not too shabby. All connected in. All working independently. Nice, easy setup. But until this point, I didn't really need the soap, but I needed to do the gloom spores, which again, we've already got the gloom spores set up here. We just need to find something for that few pieces of wood to do. There is one thing we haven't planned, is how we're going to get out the crucibles. So, what I'm planning on doing, I don't know if it's going to work, is use metal stands. Okay, I can get the metal stands there. I was hoping to get it a bit closer. We'll make getting the piping out a little tricky. I was sort of hoping that that would go next to the machine. Oh, actually, I can. It was just being a bit funny with... You have to lock the access to do it. It's going to be a little tricky to get the piping out, but I'm planning to bring the piping across and up if it works. But we know how fun the piping can be in this game. So how am I going to do it? We could bring it up here as well. Keep it in 2 separate batches. That's all them 3 connected. That's them 3 connected. Okay, the game doesn't like that. Trying to bring the last one up. Okay, I'm going to have to do it like that in parts. Oh, that is just perfect. I'm pretty certain I can work with that. Again, we've got to repeat it on this side. Change the form because I need to go across. Change it again so it goes up. Okay, the game just stopped it then. So let's try that again. Oop. I think I need one more. And then let's change it. Come on. Let's play nice. That's some of the best piping I've ever done in this game. We will need all this to come out, but it can go into one belt. And it all needs to just go into one blender. And then we've already got the thing set up upstairs. We just need to catapult it up there. Now, we are going to have to replicate this for the soap powder, I'm pretty confident. I don't know if I'm going to get enough left over on here to do the soap powder. Okay, 96 silver on the contract again. We sold another relic. That means I've got 2 in the pot already. And we got 38,000 there. So yeah, 343,000, nearly 344,000. And we've only spent 152 out. So this just needs to get piped in. We might even be able to get the cannon on the top here. Maybe like that. I think I might need to go one more with a pipe in to come up to this level. Let's put it there so it's a bit closer. So all we've got to do is thread the piping from these. So we can go... okay, so yeah, that one is too close. We need you to go up one more. You come round into the machine. That deals with all the plant ash into here. And just a single belt onto a cannon. That's going to get me the soap powder. And then I will store this as a blueprint because that's very small. We just need to deal with the piping. Okay, so that side's looking okay. That is fantastic piping. I'm hoping 3 covers it. If not, then we'll have to put 2 extractors here. 2 extractors here with a pipe with a belt in the middle. But we don't know if that's going to work until I get it all live. But I do like that build. We've got the cannon there. And we'll have to just put a cannon somewhere around here to get up to the top. But these boxes aren't going to be here forever. But that is now soap. And then what do we need for the other one? So we are just trying to get these gloom spores done. Did I not research it? Nope, let's get the research done for it. Okay, we've just got the research for the gloom spores. We still need to get the yeast powder done first. So I just want to get this blueprinted. Because it's got piping, we have to do it slightly different. So blueprint, hold down the shift. Loose the left mouse, lift it up. Then loose your left shift. Then it includes all the pipes. Confirm that. Save as a blueprint. And this is going to be soap, which is over there. Let's put it to a green because it's just plant stuff. And this should be, hopefully, soap 90 a minute. I think I'm ready to just plug that into place and see if it works. Now we can move it with the piping. And this should just plug straight into the back line, so we should see the back line going blue. Leave at least one space, but those boxes aren't going to be there long term, so we'll have a bit more space than this. I can see both belts are blue. Doesn't need any money. And now we've actually got a use for the fertilizer and the coke powder. So the coke is going to come round here and do the furnace. And access the furnace from this side if we needed to prime it, but we don't. The belt's doing all the work. Get some coal in there. Okay, so the plant ash is coming around as a full belt, so that's working perfect. All the flax is coming down onto the two belts. One's going that way, one's going this way. So it's actually only two we needed. As you can see, if you have a look, it's only 45 a minute, so yeah, I went one too many. So the inside one is going to be the easiest one to get rid of. There will be a little bit of piping in there, but that's fine. It seems to be keeping up. There's a little stoppage, but that's fine. Like I said, I think we might have a little bit more linseed than we actually need. But that's a nice tight blueprint. And when we need to do the soap powder, we'll copy it again into here. And then all we got to do is just put some grinders on the end and it's sorted. We won't need the cannon up here. We can have the grinder straight at the top. Now we need to get this cannon into the shop. So it's about 2.5 tiles. So I'm going to need to have a cannon about here, I think. Let's turn you round like that. And let's see where that cannon can reach. Get rid of you. And get rid of you. Okay, let's just take a print of the cannon. Then we wanted to send it to a junction somewhere over there with the rest of them. Maybe there. Let's see if that will work. Perfect. And then you can go into the last one I set up there. And if we go upstairs, we should see it all coming to life. We do need to just plug this in somewhere. So we've cleared everything on that side there, haven't we? Okay, so what do I want to do? I could put another 3 shelf here. Like I said, moving the relic would probably be the easiest thing to here. Let's see if that a relic can be moved. So the relic was this one. Can that still reach the new target? Yep, that's fine. And then we'll put another triple shelf down here if we can. If not, then we'll just do a double. Or one away. Okay, double shelf it is. We can move that bookcase later and get a triple down if we want. it's not that hard to retarget things. And now we have soap going into the shop. We will have to get another cannon down for the next thing we want. Can it go? Okay, can go there. If I put a little shelf here, can we get a 3? We can get a 3 on this side. I want to see if that can shoot into the back ones. Let's take that target in. It can go into all 3. So we'll go up to there. So now we have got soap finally into the shop. Took a while to get there. Just make sure there was no quests. There is one, but it needs yeast powder. That's what we're slowly working towards. And then the gloom spores needs the yeast powder. So unfortunately, we can't do that quest, but I will just tag it. I've got 2 days to get yeast powder up. So yeast powder would just be a copy of this, which we know runs efficient. Where's my machines? It was in a blender, wasn't it? So yeast powder would only need soap powder at 45 a minute. Now, this one here, I could do a priority splitter. Because as soon as the shop's full, then there's no use for all this soap that's just going to be sitting here. Didn't mean to pick up the soap. So as soon as it's finished at that box upstairs, she's only working 30 a minute. We'll just do a new setup. So we'll do the same setup into soap powder, so we probably don't need it as advanced as that one, but I do want to be getting yeast powder at a good rate because I need that coming out at a good rate. So if I want to do my belt to be full, I'm actually thinking about doubling this. We do need to see what soap powder goes into a grinder is. I'm just going to put one on there and just have a quick look. 15 a minute. So I need 3 grinders, so basically this belt is 90. So I could go up to 6 grinders. I'm thinking doubling the soap powder or doubling this soap protect. We'll have a double version of it. Then we'll have some grinders on the head to get the soap powder, and then we'll add some fruit wine on. Now I need to look at the numbers of the fruit wine. But that's what we're going to be doing in the next episode. Because we need to make a push for that yeast powder in 2 days. So yeah, we'll double this. Doubling this. Actually, we don't need to double it because we've got the 90 already. All we need to do is just build it and put some grinders on it. This won't be sent to the shop, so that's fine. And then all we need to do is work out the ratios of how much fruit wine I need. But that shouldn't be too hard to set up. And then we'll be running this at double efficiency at 45 a minute, which is half belt speed. But that will use up all the soap. So yeah, I'm happy with that. We're slowly making progress. And fingers crossed, as soon as we made the gloom spores, we've already got everything to just plug them together and get a transformation potion. So what we'll do with the gloom spores is having it going into transformation, and then if it ever fills up, then we'll have the rest of it going into contracts, just what we did with the bandages. And then we'll be moving on to tier 6. Maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, next episode. Tier 6 has some very interesting things I want to get into. Refiners, copper powders, blast furnaces, stackable grinders, and then we can make our own money. Cauldron. Cauldrons are absolutely fantastic. And malachite's not even that hard to do, but you need to set up your copper stuff first. And then looking at Saturn, we've already done bricks, we've already done glass, and we're setting up a yeast powder now, so all we'll have to do is just bump up them quantities and we can make a Saturn. So going down this route for the salt to the Saturn is probably... Oh, actually, that's salt. That first one, not yeast powder. So yeah, that one might be an easy one to actually go into. Like I did up here, I went into the relic before we went into the other stuff. And then there's a second relic in tier 6 as well, which is a bit more fun to do. A lot harder. And then we go down to the growth potions and black powder. This is like our next source of fertilizer. So if we have a quick look at what we're doing now with the fertilizer, which is advanced. It is currently got a 144 VS second and 936. The growth potions 8,400 and can go up to 2160. So as you see, over 10 times, 15 times more powerful than advanced fertilizer. And we saw what a difference that made to our factory. But yeah, that will all be in the next one. Hopefully you're still enjoying the series, and I'll be seeing you again soon. Thank you very much for watching.